April 14th, 2013 was my 11th birthday. I had my little cousins, my best friend, my little brother. Life was good. But honestly, it was the most significant time in my life. Honestly, this is where my mind developed, and I appreciated video games a lot more. I always played video games from when I was literally 2 years old, but I never really recognized how beautiful they can be. When I was younger, we had a SNES, a Nintendo 64, a Sega Genesis, a PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, the original Xbox, Game Boys, and GameCube, and DS's on top of that. But I never really had one of my own. I was always too little to be playing on them. I used to watch my brothers and cousins play Superman 64, which was terrible, Mario 64, Pokemon, Street Ball, PlayStation 2, Midnight Club, Mortal Kombat, all these games that I love to this day, but I never actually had a hands-on experience to own them up to that point. It's kind of like my love for Dragon Ball Z. Like, I never really watched it. My cousins and uncles and everybody used to play the game, and we had a whole bunch of movies and toys from Dragon Ball Z, but I never really understood it until I became like 8 or 9 years old when I started watching it on Vortex. But yeah, I was always see these games. I will always love them. And then out of nowhere, around 2007, 2008, I've started seeing this game called Super Smash Flash. I would go to the library with my brother and get on the internet. You know, it was still like 2007, 2008, 2009. So it was primitive. We've discovered YouTube for the first time. But for me, my brother used to show me a website called Y8. And I'm like, okay, let me go on there. I seen Ultimate Sonic Flash, this Final Fantasy Sonic. Honestly, it was a lot of Sonic games and a lot of arcade beat 'em up games that used to merge King of Fighters and Street Fighters into one game. It was great. On Y8 is actually where I found out about Nazo Unleashed. So, you know, big Sonic fan. I always used to love all the Sonic games, but this is not about Sonic. But then my brother put me on this website called Y3. It was like Y8, but with way more games. Later on, it got rebranded as Gamebox, so if you ever look it up. But when I went on there, I discovered Super Smash Flash 2. I was amazed because I never seen games like this before. Of course, I seen Super Smash Bros. Melee, but that was like a boys and girls club, and I never got to play because I was still a little kid. I was still like little. So it was all like, but I only seen it like once or twice ever. We didn't have that game when I was growing up. It was just so crazy because I'm like, oh my goodness, I've never seen a Flash game like this before. When I looked at the character select screen, it was Sora, Ichigo, Naruto, and Goku. Like I said, I knew about these people. I played their video games, especially Naruto and Goku. I didn't really know Ichigo that much at the time, but I didn't know him because of Toonami. So it was like, okay, let me try out Goku. As soon as I started playing the game, I was all like, oh yeah, this is it. I don't know if this move is still in the game, but Goku had this Kaioken move where it replaced his Kamehameha after you used the Kaioken, where it used to blast sideways and used to hit him. But I used to spam that move so much. And then it was like, man, of course I fell in love with Naruto, Sonic. It's just, man, I love that game. I would go to the library as much as possible with my big brother. But we found out a little bit later on at the library, they had a game day. We didn't know that. On a game day, they took out the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and the Wii. Those were the most current game consoles at the time, and we didn't have it because we couldn't afford it. It's around 2008, 2009 at this point. Some people always wanted the Wii out. I was like, why would you want the Wii out when you got the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360? They never explained it to me until I looked at the screen. And there it was, Subspace Emissary. I was all like, this kind of looks like Super Smash Flash, but of course it's on the Wii. I was like, what? They got a game like this out? I'm watching the game, and they're like playing, they doing everything. Of course, the character list was different, but it looked like it controlled the same. The game was just crazy. It was crazy. Of course, this game turned out to be Super Smash Bros. Brawl. And this is where I fell in love with that game. Mind you, it's 2008, so I'm about 6 years old. 6, 7 years old. This was my game. I've seen Sonic fighting Mario, Link, Kirby. Oh yeah. See, but here goes the mistake. I was a little kid. Also, I'm in the hood. They wasn't letting me get on that game. And if I did get on the game, I'm just only by myself because all the older people wanted to play the game together. It was just like, they didn't show me no respect. But even though that was the case, loved it. I didn't know what I was doing. Didn't know how to use a Wii. I didn't know how to use none of it. The only thing I did know how to use was the Pro Controller because I was familiar with that. They didn't have the game controller there. So it was just like, okay, so what am I supposed to do? I used to jump around in a game, in a match with Sonic, and I didn't use CPU, so I just used 2 players, and used to have all items on, just jumping around, playing. Unfortunately, we moved, and I haven't played Super Smash Brothers ever after that. And I will for a while. But then, think about the beginning. I had best friends. Around 5th grade in 2013, I met a whole bunch of new friends because I moved. When I was younger, we used to move every year, every 2 years. So that was just crazy. Because we used to move around so often, I got really good at making friends. So my first day of 5th grade, I asked one of my friends that I'm still close with to this day, hey, can I borrow your game? Can I play your game? I don't know why I did that. I didn't like to beg, but I knew he had those games, so I knew it was crazy. But yeah, at this point, I didn't really have income. I did have a Wii at this point, but I still didn't have Super Smash Brothers. So, let's fast forward. Some time passed. Me and my friends during winter, we went out shoveling snow. And I was all like, okay, well, let's shovel some snow. Let's do this, let's do that. So back in the day, what I used to do all the time was go to this video game store called Crazy Games. Crazy Games was a used video game store. They didn't have brand new. So it was based off of trade or buying video games. I would go in there after I make some money by shoveling or cutting grass or raking leaves. Mind you, at this point, I was also just 11 years old still. But one day, when I went in there after shoveling snow, making some money, I seen it. A used copy of Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I immediately got it. Immediately. And I was so excited to go home. It was a school night though, so didn't actually get to play with my friends, but I still took it home. I booted it up. The intro came on. It was surreal. It's like I'm a little kid again. And to this day, I still love that memory. It's still, man. So, what I did, played it for about 15 minutes. I did classic mode. It was pretty fun. I did all of that. But there wasn't a lot of characters initially. So, I went to go play. But it was fun. The next day, after school, I was all like, hey, y'all should come to my house. I got Super Smash Brothers. I've been wanting to play this with friends for years. Come over. And they came over, and we played this game literally for 6 hours straight right after high school. Like right after elementary school. These kids had to go home. Luckily, they lived right in like a block away from me or 2 blocks away from me. But we literally played that game for like 6-7 hours straight. Like, it was amazing. And this game was so good, I dropped my PlayStation 2 for a while. Also, let me say this. We still couldn't afford the PlayStation 3 at the time. The PlayStation 4 just came out in November. So it's like still brand new and everything. The price of the PlayStation 3 didn't drop yet. But yeah, I used to play my PlayStation 2 all the time, literally every day back in the day. But when I got Super Smash Brothers, I stopped playing it for like 3 months straight. So this is what happened. I used to play Subspace Emissary all the time by myself. And those times mean so much to me because I'm the youngest of 6. It was so much stuff going on around that time, like family-wise, and I didn't get the attention from my family that I could have. Like, I'm still grateful. They still treat me right. They still did everything we could, but I felt like I wasn't getting a lot of attention. But when I was on Subspace Emissary and I'm playing the Donkey Kong levels and traveling, and I hear this, it was definitely my time of peace when I heard it. But yeah, honestly, this game kept me together. This game helped me bond with my friends. This game gave me so much joy, and it is my favorite Super Smash Brothers to this day. Even though Ultimate is better, even though 4 is better, even though Melee has better combat, there's nothing that Brawl could have done to me wrong or have done wrong. I really appreciate Masahiro Sakurai for even doing what he did. Super Smash Bros. Brawl is a masterpiece.